Grenade! Shit! Watch that grenade!
Target neutralized. Good work. Agent down. That's another one down.
Hey, what is up everyone? LDB is back at it again, coming at you today with my Rifle Elite Destroyer build. Now, I have a few other ideas for builds pertaining to rifles with damage to elite, so definitely stay tuned for those. But for this build today, so far I've had great success with it on challenging and heroic missions where the majority of the NPCs are yellow bars, and then we just go ahead and crush them. So far it's been working out awesome, and I encourage you to try something like this out, especially with the upcoming raids that are going to be going on. I'm pretty sure it's going to get pretty hectic in there, and the majority of them are probably going to be elites. And once you see the character sheet that I have on here, I think it should all start to fall into place for you. Now, really quick, on the last video that I uploaded, I got almost 300 likes on it, so let's see if we can break that 300 mark on this video. That would definitely be awesome. And as always, if you enjoy or find these videos helpful, definitely smash that like button, subscribe for future content if you are new to the channel, make sure you got that notification bell on, and go ahead and drop a comment down there letting everybody know what you're thinking of this build so far, if you've been using something similar, or if you have any questions. So let's get into it. Alright everyone, so here we go. Now, first things first, as you can see, we have 11 firearms, 4 stamina, and 2 electronics. The gear score is only 497 because I have some of my older pieces that are a little bit lower level, but they have the attributes and the talents on them that I want. So gear score, I'm not really too worried about it. It's not that big of a deal. The armor is sitting at 219,000, so almost at that 220,000 mark. The health is not too great, 29.8, and the skill power is a whopping 386. You know, big skill power there, you know. But I promise this does work out awesome. But before we get into anything else, I'd just like to point out something really fast. If we go over to the stats here, I'm going to go down to the damage to elites. All I want to show you here is that we can get this higher. Right now we're sitting at 132%. If I go ahead and swap out my gloves here that have critical on it. Now, critical is supposed to be getting a nerf down to 5% crit hit damage, I believe, instead of the 8. So it's going to go down a couple percent, but not that big of a deal. But if I go ahead and put these Overlord gloves on right here that do have hard hitting on them, and then we go ahead and check out our stats. Let's go down to the damage to elites, and you'll see we're at 147% damage to elites. I'd say that's pretty crazy. It's again, it's been working out all right, and I don't even have rifle rolled onto these gloves. So I am going to be sticking with the gloves that do have critical on it, because it also has the 4.5% crit chance on it, and that assault rifle, the rifle damage on there. So right there, that lines up a little bit better for me. Now, other than that, let's go on to the weapons, and then we'll get into all the specifics of the gear pieces. Alright, so here we go. Now, before I show you my primary, I'm actually going to go over my secondary because, well, it impacts my primary. I'm going to be going with a Merciless. You can get this from District Union Arena or I believe Jefferson Trade Center. I've never got it from Jefferson, but I've gotten 2 of them from the District Union Arena Stronghold, and I encourage you to try and get this because of the holstered talent that we have here. Brutality. While holstered, landing a shot has a 5% chance to deal 20% damage as explosive damage. Now, it's only a 5% chance, but in all reality, I feel like it's a little more than 5%. I could be wrong, it is what it is, but regardless, 20% damage as explosive damage on top of whatever you're doing is definitely an awesome thing right there. And especially when you get that final bullet that is an explosive bullet, and it sends the NPC flying. It's a really nice thing, and it's very satisfying. So definitely try that out. Now, as far as my primary goes, nothing special. Urban MDR. I'm using this because, from what I found, it has the highest per bullet damage out of all of the rifles, as far as I've found so far. This one right here, we're sitting at 34.2, the RPM is 360, and the mag is 36. And if we go ahead and check out another rifle, let's check out this lightweight M4 here. You can see the damage difference per bullet, 31.5 to 34.2. If we go down to, let's see, a SIG, I know a lot of people like the SIG, 33.8 compared to 34.2. The RPM is a little bit lower, and the mag would be the same if it had extra on it as well. But other than that, let's take a look. I know I have another one down here. We have another lightweight M4 that is only 27.7 per bullet. It does have a little bit higher RPM and the same mag size, but that damage per bullet is what I'm looking at right there. So that's why I'm using the MDR. I know it's not everyone's favorite because of the recoil, but once you get used to it, it really does work out nice. Now, as far as talents go on this weapon, I have Ranger, Extra, and Greased. And Greased really does not matter because I'm going to be using this pretty much the entire time. But Ranger and Extra are definitely awesome to have. Extra, 20% magazine capacity, but Ranger is definitely where it's at. Every 5 meters you are from the target grants 2% weapon damage. So, when you're sitting back, zoomed in, picking your shots from a distance, that number can go up very high very quickly with this Ranger on here. So definitely try that out. It's definitely an awesome talent right there. As far as mods go, I have a C7 scope with 5% damage to elites on there. I have a light extended 7.62 mag, gives us an extra 10 rounds. I have the laser pointer on that gives us plus 5% crit chance. And I have the 7.62 muzzle there that has 5% damage to elites. So there are the weapons. Let's get on to the build itself, get into the good stuff. Okay, so here we go. Now first I want to point out I do have a 3-piece Overlord going on, and what that's going to give us is 10% rifle damage, 7.5% total armor, and 7% damage to elites. So if you can get a 3-piece of this going right here, that's definitely going to help push that rifle damage through the roof. Definitely recommend that. But let's go piece by piece here and see what we got going. The mask that I have, I've shown this in previous videos, and now I'm actually putting it to use. It is an R&K mask. It's giving us 10% hazard protection, which I'm actually liking right now. I've gotten kind of used to that. But the point here is the attributes and the talent here. We have the attributes of 40% damage to elites with 2% crit chance. And we also have hard hitting. It gives us another 15% damage to elites. Right there on the mask alone, 55% damage to elites. That's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy. And it's been working out awesome. So let's go on to the chest piece here. It is Overlord, and it has crit chance, 3% weapon damage, and some bonus armor on there with hard hitting as well. And we have a mod on here. Well, we have 2 mods on here that have health, armor on a kill, extra incoming healing, and bonus armor, armor on a kill, and total armor. Any way you can push your bonus armor up, your armor on a kill, and your total armor is a awesome thing. And if you can get some extra incoming healing, hey, it is what it is. It's a good thing. Now, my holster here is Araldi because it gives us that 10% accuracy. I was feeling like before I was not as accurate, landing those shots, and I figured, hey, I'll try this out, and it actually works out really nice. And it has 10.5% crit chance on it, and it also has hard hitting as well. Now we have a mod on here that gives us 1% weapon damage, 2.5 headshot damage, and 4% optimal range. So you can push that optimal range just a little bit further. So moving on to the knee pads here. They are Overlord, and they have 6.5% crit chance and 15% damage to elites from hard hitting. And we have a mod on here that gives us 1.5 weapon damage, 1% pistol crit hit damage, and 0.5 rifle crit hit damage. Nothing crazy, but that pistol crit hit damage actually does kind of come into effect, because if you run out of bullets and you pull out your pistol, with this build, it actually still does a lot of damage to those elites. So using your pistol, don't overlook that. But moving on to the gloves here, I kind of touched on these already. They are Overlord. They have that 4% rifle damage on there. We have 4.5 crit chance, and we have critical. That gives us that 8% crit hit damage on there. So I'd say we're doing all right on that. And again, we could swap that out for those other gloves that do have hard hitting on it and push it to that 140 plus damage to elites. But I'm just going to be going with the crit chance and damage for the red and purple NPCs. You can't forget about those guys, because if you dump everything and you go too top heavy into damage to elites, then you know the simple little red guys become a pain. So definitely keep that in the back of your head. But other than that, moving on to the backpack here, it is Wyvern. It's going to give us another 7% crit hit damage. It has 5% crit chance on it. It's got some armor and a little bit of skill power, but it also has hard hitting and it has destructive. I put this on here, 20% explosive damage, so we're going to be getting 40% explosive damage if those shots land and explode from the holstered talent coming off of the Merciless. So anyway, you can push that explosive damage. I was thinking about doing a build completely around that, using a rifle with all kinds of explosive damage with the Seeker. If you'd like to see something like that, let me know down in the comments, but I've been putting that together in my head and kind of saving pieces up. I'm on my way to making it. But other than that, guys, that is about it. That wraps it up. I hope you enjoyed and took something away from it. And, you know, it is what it is. This has been working out nice for me. Let's take a look at the stats really quick before we sign off here. We got hard hitting a whole bunch of times on here. We got some destructive explosive damage. We got critical, get that crit damage up. We got some more hard hitting down here too. Kind of crazy. That Ranger, again, definitely a key talent to have. Definitely try that out. If you can get that, re-roll it onto something, try that 100%. Other than that, Brutality, while holstered, landing that shot, 5% chance to deal 20% damage as explosive damage. If you can get that and then get any kind of destructive on there as well, it's going to push it even farther. And other than that, let's take a look here at the weapon damage, 34.2 per bullet. The crit chance is 42.5%. And the crit damage, nothing crazy, 55%. But that headshot damage there, 123%. The range, 28 meters. Reload time is 1.5 seconds. Click, clack, you're going again. You got a 30% reload speed bonus on there. We got 30 accuracy and 10 stability. I mean, this is coming together awesome, guys. We only have 5.5 all weapons damage bonus on there, but I'm not really too worried about that when we have 29% rifle damage and 132% damage to elites. Now again, you could push that past 140 mark, but then I'm taking away from my crit chance and damage, things like that. And I right now, so far, it's been working out really nice. Now as far as armor goes, we have 219,000 armor. No armor on a kill or anything like that. I would really like to get a two-piece Badger on here somehow. That would be awesome for the damage to elites and the armor on a kill. But as of right now, it's been working out pretty good. We do have some health regen, and we have some hazard protection, which is basically EDR, so it gives us 10% all the way down. The skill power, nothing crazy at all. We got that chem launcher skill power up a little bit higher than the rest of the stuff, but it is what it is. So that's the build, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed and took something away from it. Like I said, I've really been having fun with this build, and it's been working out awesome. Well, alright, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Hopefully you enjoyed or took something away from the video. If you did, definitely smash that like button, subscribe for future content. If you are new to the channel, make sure you got that notification bell on, and go ahead and drop a comment down there letting everybody know what you're thinking of the build, if you have any suggestions or any comments. So until next time, guys, I hope you take it easy. I will see you then. Later.